I had to fucking cover up a giant shanker in the center of my forehead. That's why I walked away. Had to grab my phone, and I had to cover up this colossal, whatever the fuck this is.
It's your
All right.
your face.
There was a big hole in my face, right here, right around this region, that I had to put some stage makeup on.
Oh.
You know how they do it in the industry? How we do it in the industry? This is the Jacket Off Podcast, episode 61. I remember that because we've actually been recording episodes, unlike before, where I had to look it up every time. I'm your host, Pimple McBlister Blemish. The sweaty asshole that's in front of you right now.
You still haven't put in a window fan in that fucking room?
No, it's in here. I just didn't want to have it on while I'm recording because this thing is so fucking loud. I went the other day to Walmart, which, first of all, is a fucking terrible idea. I don't know what possessed me to. I think it was mainly because I later found out that if you wanted a cheap, energy efficient air conditioner, Walmart has as many of those as they do fucking people with no teeth.
A lot.
I looked online. I was getting fucking tired of it in here. The last 2 days when I was working from home, Thursday, Friday, were like the hottest days last week. And I was baking fucking in here. I had a fan that was supposed to be in the window with this door open over here into the area that did have an air conditioner. I had a kitchen chair with the window fan on it pointed inwards to try to pull the cold air in here, which is basically like blowing on someone, like to try to cool them off. And so Friday rolled around and I was like, I ain't living this life anymore. So I'm good now.
Over it.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to look up online and see if there's any deals on air conditioners because it's Memorial Day weekend. I'm sure there are. So I went on the Lowe's website and I was like, none of these are really a deal. It's like, I'm not going to fucking spend $250, $300 on an air conditioner that's going to go into a room. So I went on Walmart's website and they had one for like $140. I was like, that's the price right there.
You might say the price is
wrong, Bobby.
Right.
I'd be a lot cooler if it was. Throwback to last episode. I brought that bitch home. Turns out modern air conditioners, they have a lot more things to put them in a window. Like this shitty ass one that I have in the living room, literally my procedure for putting that air conditioner in is 3 steps. Step 1, get the air conditioner.
Yep.
Bring it upstairs. Step 2, put the air conditioner in the window. Step 3,
hold on for
turn it on. Yeah, well, there's some intermediate steps in there where I yell and
you hold on for dear life.
Yeah, that's really
you
just
close the windowsill on your arm as you're holding it from the back. You kind of slide your arm, pray that you got enough room for it to catch. And you slam that bitch down, and then you wonder why you got bugs in your house the whole summer.
Hey, at the very least, the bug problem that I had when the window fan was in here is now a thing of the past because the way you install this particular air conditioner is a lot more involved. It's got like a brace at the top of it, and like
the brace. Ew.
Get
out of here with that shit.
There's literally it's like a big piece of steel with a piece of foam on it that you screw into the top of the air conditioner so that when it leans out, in essence, it actually makes life easier. I
assume they made it. They couldn't make it harder.
The advancements in air conditioner technology, I guess, are not lost on me now. I wasn't really particularly aware of how many things you could do to like not let bugs in your house or not have to use duct tape and cardboard to seal the side of the air conditioner. And also the fact that significant jumps in air conditioner technology have also allowed for the fact that this air conditioner costing $140 and being an actually physically smaller air conditioner than the one I have in the living room cools this room more efficiently and with less dust and bullshit than the one in the living room. So now when I got home, I was like, I should have just bought 2 air conditioners.
Probably got a temperature control on it too, so that it doesn't stay on the whole day. Well,
here's the thing. You would think that, but it doesn't, because what I did was I bought the one that's like, you know how now if you tried to buy a car with hand crank windows and manual seats, you'd have a real hard time.
Yeah, you got to order.
I managed to find that car in air conditioner form.
Is it just the knobs?
It's literally 2 knobs. Make it to cool, make it to fan go big, fan go small, make it a more cool. That's it.
I got one of those air conditioners.
Yeah, hey. Yeah. It's the cheap one. Like I said, when I walked into Walmart, it was literally like a Black Friday TV sale. They had them all up front on one big ass 20-foot fucking just 100 air conditioners.
They know.
Huh?
They know. That's probably like their one big sale of air conditioners all year, because anytime like if like say your air conditioner broke and you go in midsummer, there's like never any in there.
If there are, it's either those like giant portable air conditioners with the fucking hose you got to put out the window, or it's a 9,000 BTU fucking Binford 4800 that's like $500. You don't even have a window this air conditioner can fit. I don't have a single window in the house.
A fucking hotel room that you're supposed to cut a hole out of the wall at.
We can sell you this $3,000 central air unit that somebody's got to schedule a time to come out and put in if you want. I'm good, man. I rent. I'll put in a window fan, I guess, and I'll mist myself like I'm in fucking Disney World. Throughout the night, just wake up in a fucking hot sweat. Spray myself with a Mickey Mouse fan.
Wear it around your neck all day.
Dude, don't joke. One of my coworkers came in with one of those fucking wrap around the neck like fan things where it looks like, the headphones that wrap around your neck that are like a collar thing. Yeah. It's like that, but it just has like 2 vents on the front of it that just blow up into your face. Dude, I was like, what kind of broke ass fucking Chinatown bullshit is that? And he's like, fucking put it on, man. I was like, whatever. And I put it on and I was like, oh. Something about your neck, if you cool off just like this area around your neck into your ears, like it fucking cools everything for some reason. It's the same reason why, like, if you put like a wet towel around your neck, god damn. I used to have that chamois thing in a tube. It was I got it. Remember that?
Yeah.
Dude, I used to freeze that bitch every day. And in the morning, if I was make like a nice coffee in the morning in the kitchen, I'd take that thing out of the freezer. I would run it under the faucet. And so now it's like soaked in like ice fucking cold water and just right around my neck. Oh my God, I wake your ass right up. I had too many ahas today. Fucking raring to go. Yesterday I was not.
No.
I was not raring to go yesterday. My God. I woke my ass up at 6 o'clock in the morning and drove a van down to Long Island. We
How
cleared
long is
out.
that for you? 3 hours?
Yeah. I would say no matter what way you do it, which incidentally, if you didn't follow a GPS and you've been down there like a multitude of times, there's about 10 ways to get there.
Oh yeah.
It's odd because anywhere else you go, like the times that you and I have gone to Philadelphia, there's probably only 2 ways really to get to Philadelphia. Like there's 2 kind of main arteries that go down there, and otherwise you're just wasting your time. But like with New York, you could start from here or from you, and you could go about 10 different ways. You could only probably go 2 ways coming from here after a certain point. But there's a point at which when you get to the end of like if you're taking the freeway, there's a certain point where you could pick 5-6 ways to go just based on parkways alone. You could be like, I'm going to take the fucking the LI Parkway. I'm going to take the goddamn I'm going to take the can't remember the scenic one. There's the Grand Central Parkway. All of these fucking ways you can go. And I've probably gone a different way every time. Like, I don't think I've ever gone like the same way twice. But the ride down there, no matter, I mean, and this is the other thing, no matter what fucking ride you take down there, they're all shit.
Yeah.
At least one part of it is like if you could do like a fucking a scenic one, great, cool. You know, you go on like a nice little drive through there, but then eventually, sure, you're gonna hit a wall at some point where it's like, is this a road that I'm driving on right now? Or is it, I mean, it feels like a cobblestone fucking sidewalk that I'm driving on right now, but I'm pretty sure it's a road. When, like, you're just like, for 20 miles just trying to get in there, anywhere you go. Phew. And it's weird because it's like a combo of like old ass like brick bridges like above you, and then below you it's just like big fucking like gobs of like patched. You've taken that one?
Yeah. Yep.
When you go into those,
we
go
took that way when we went to the Devils game in Yankee Stadium.
Yes, we did. At least part way we did. We went through that part. There, when you go under those bridges, those parts are the worst because they're hardest to work on. Like right under that short ass bridge, what the hell is going to be able to fit in there if you're trying to like patch the road up? So like all it is just a fucking a damn scrap quilt of poured in cement and tar and shit that's like rolled out unevenly and whatever. Is just one big spackle project of a fucking road. But anyway, we made it, and actually in good time. I couldn't believe it. I can believe it because of what's happening right now. That's basically the only reason why we were able to get down there at all in like a reasonable amount of time without any traffic jams. It's weird. I hadn't been down there yet. Oh, here's another thing about. I'm pretty sure I'm in trouble. I don't really know how they are going to enforce this, but one of the missions that we had for this journey, okay?
I'm pretty sure
I'm in trouble. I'll explain. I'm in trouble.
Oh, you're gonna get in trouble.
I kind of felt that way when this happened. So the one thing I didn't think about during this whole thing is, what do they do about tolls?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I hadn't had to go through a toll booth.
Yeah, it's so weird now. You gotta like, you get on, and then when you get off, you tell the person when you got on at.
Now, here's where I'll be in trouble. When we went there, we were in a rental van, had an Easy Pass. But one of the main missions of this whole thing was to drive back a Honda CRV that was just fucking sitting there at this apartment.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, I'm going to have to fucking drive this thing back. It's been sitting for months. We had to have a AAA guy come and jump it.
Oh.
Needless to say, I was a little nervous. I was like, okay, this thing hasn't even fucking moved from this spot in like 2 months.
Drive it.
I gotta drive it out of New York.
A 3-hour drive.
Just to fast forward on that particular point, this fucking car is a trooper, dude. Holy shit. Perfect ride, nothing wrong with it.
Did you say it was a Civic?
It was a CRV, Honda CRV, which is under the same umbrella. Like this, that you beat the fuck out of these cars, and they're just like, yeah, what are we doing next? Like, doesn't matter.
Probably could have left it there for a full year. And
dude, I could have. Yeah, yep, it's good to go. Country. She got a full tank. Take her to California. So drove that home, no problem. But there was problem.
As I said earlier,
I didn't have trouble. I'm in trouble because I don't have an Easy Pass and I have no cash. So I get on the road and I see the first toll where you just, like, people were going through it. I was watching everybody else. I mean, obviously, other than Easy Pass, everybody else was just fucking blowing through this thing. And I got a quick glimpse of the sign that was on the first toll window of, you know, emergency toll procedure, you know, just blow through here and then just tell them where you went. And I was like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to do this?
Now that I haven't thought about, like, the bridge tolls and everything, too, right?
That's where I was somewhat confused, because before this, it was just bill tolls, right? Where you just go through the sensor and they take a picture and they just mail it to you. I've done that 1,000 times. So I was like, are they going to take a picture of it and then they're just going to know, like, what the fuck I'm doing? Like, I have no clue what this system is for. I know what it is for the cameras. I don't know what it is for the actual, like, throughway tolls, because I haven't been on it. So I blow through there just like everybody else and I start driving. And then, you know, before you know it, I'm, you know, 2.5, 3 hours in, and I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta get off a fucking toll in like 5 minutes and I have no money. So I'm not kidding you. I came up to it. I saw a black Honda next to me go through it and kind of just slow down. He wasn't in an Easy Pass lane.
Well, I mean, every lane's an Easy Pass lane.
Well, so I couldn't see, like, the light panel, like where, you know, the red, yellow, green, like I couldn't see it from his angle. I see him kind of slow down Easy Pass style, but kind of fast. So it looked to me like he just blew through the fucking thing. I roll up California stop in front of a toll booth operator that I was not expected to be there, and I just fucking blew through it. I looked at her. I fucking literally I pulled up with my car, panicked, looked at her, and fucking blew the place. I don't know what's going to happen. It ain't my car. I feel like all they're really going to do is they're just going to take the license plate and charge you.
Yeah, I don't think you pay with cash, do you? I thought you just tell them and they write it down and then they bill you later.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. That's the thing is that
there's any money exchange.
They can't really. They're that's the thing. Probably is that the reason why this isn't going.
Giving away tickets.
They're
not giving the tickets out, so they shouldn't. If they're not going to give the tickets out, then they shouldn't be able to take the money in.
Right. So really, what's going on is I blew a toll booth without telling them where I came from, and ultimately, all that means is that they're just going to charge for the full amount from the beginning to end. But That's what it is anyway. So it really doesn't matter. I went from beginning to end.
I hope they send a picture of your dumb face blowing the toll booth.
Just looking like a fucking. I'm new. I don't know what to do. But like I was just. I didn't even tell anybody that I did that. It's just like I fucking blocked it out. Like I was gonna.
Plate number.
It was the last thing on my mind. I had had such a long day. I was like, I'm fucking done with this. Like, I'm driving the car. Whatever. I don't even fucking care.
I pay my taxes.
Suddenly, I became a libertarian somehow. Like, I pay my taxes.
You need one bad day, and all of a sudden, you're a libertarian driving down the thruway.
God damn it, I want a small government! So I get... yesterday was the time where I felt like the times where we came home from, like, concerts. It's a very distinct physical feeling that you have when you go in one day, like the times where we've been like, let's just fucking do this thing, where we wake up at the oh, dude, yes, the feeling that I'm citing kind of is the move of wake up at the crack ass of dawn, drive for a fucking eternity, and then do the thing that you're going to do, which is physically strenuous in and of itself, and then get right back into the car and drive all the way home. And when you get home, it feels like you've drained not only your physical fucking life force out of your body, but your everything. You just want to melt into a puddle on the floor. That's how I felt last night. Was like every step was like, how am I going to do this? Then the next step was like, I can't believe I just did that.
I got it.
How am I going to do this? I got it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it. Here we
I'm going
go.
to keep doing it. Oh, it was horrific. I feel bad that I couldn't do crossplay yesterday. I literally had this delusional thought in my head that was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get home. I mean, we got home actually at a pretty reasonable time. It was probably like 8:30, and then we ate.
I texted you, and you texted me.
I was
back,
around.
And I'm like,
yeah,
oh, Brent's around. I'm like, but I'm not gonna even talk to him.
Even if he's in New York or if he's at home, he really doesn't exist.
Yeah, I knew you were at home. Just how fast you texted me back. I'm like, obviously he's at home right now because he texted me back in 2 seconds. But this is the only text I'm sending him.
I got home and then we just ordered takeout because I was just like, oh. And then I ate it, and then, dude, this is how bad it was. This is how tired I was. I had this delusion. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get home. I'm gonna eat something. I'm gonna take a shower. I'm gonna drink an aha, and then we're just gonna keep rolling. I ate that food.
This is when you woke up at 5 a.m., correct?
No, I woke up at 6, which actually wasn't that bad. But at this point, we were into the 14-hour mark.
Yeah.
And I got home, I ate the burger, I fucking drank an aha, and even Becky was like, why are you drinking that? It's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm like, honestly, I don't even think it's going to do anything. I was correct. It did absolutely nothing. It was basically like drinking like a really strong green tea at like 9 o'clock and then just fucking passing out. I was able to go until like 10:30, 11, and then I just fell flat. First night I actually was able to sleep in my own goddamn bed because every night up until this point, having a window fan in the bedroom ain't doing it. Eventually, Dylan, all it's going to be is this whole house is going to have an air conditioner in every window.
Every window.
Every fucking window.
Central air.
Like, dude, there were there was an option to get a central air apartment, but it wasn't immediately available at the time when we rented this apartment.
Mm-hmm.
They said it was like probably like a month or two out, and I was fucking done. Like I was like cut and run, and I was thinking, you know, at the time you're like fucking 10 feet tall and bulletproof. I'll put in a couple air conditioners. You know, I know stuff about things.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not fucking
How
morbidly
hot can it
obese.
get?
Yeah, how hot could it really be? There's a couple trees over there. Yeah, you know, fine. You know, fast forward 2 years, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to Walmart and I buy 5 air conditioners. Energy bills through the fucking roof. But you know, that's the weekend, Dylan. What you got there? You got a little smushy face right there. Dude, from my angle, like from me, like seeing it right here, it literally looks like he has no eyes.
Yeah.
Like the way it's lit, he's just like he's just like a black blob. His head's a black blob. I wish I could get a dog, Dylan.
You can.
You can, sure. Just get evicted.
No sooner you get a dog, your neighbor will be on your ass. So,
oh, dude, the guy that lives down the street from me that I actually work with, like the one that was like, "Hey, you should move in here." He saw that people, I think, brought like 2 cats into their apartment. Like he kind of put the pieces together. He could like hear them a little bit every once in a while, and then like saw them kind of like making like weird moves when they had to like go out to the car and shit like that. He's like, they got fucking cats in there, and they were pissing him off. The neighbors were like pissing my friend off, and he was like, dude, fucking one move, they're fucking out of there. Like that's kind of the thing around here is like everybody, I feel like everybody kind of shares the same thing that I do, like that I had last week, where it was like everybody's fucking looking out their blinds, creasing those blinds, baby. They're all watching you. They just fuck up. Just fuck up, dude. Just fuck up. I'm watching. I can see you out there. Just fuck up. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get a little. You can get a pink Xerox copy slipped under that door if you don't fucking watch it, Buster. But yeah, I wish I could get a dog. I wish I had like a. I considered many times to just get like small animals. Mm-hmm. Just be like that guy that's got. Like I thought about it a couple of times. I was like, what if I just get a fucking snake? What if I just get a fucking, or what if I get a goddamn fucking lizard? I need a big old.
I could see you with like a gecko.
Yeah. The one thing that I always wanted when I was a kid was the 2 things I wanted really were like a gecko or a tree frog. One of those bright green bastards. Yeah. I wanted a fucking tree frog. The geckos are easier to take care of. A tree frog is like next to impossible to take care of without a disposable income that's like through the fucking roof. Like you have to be kind of a little bit of a crazy person in the same way that like most larger iguanas are. Like my Uncle Dan used to have this massive fucking iguana that like top to tail had to have been, I mean, it was a fucking massive. Yeah, it was. This iguana was massive, but the thing was that it was really cool. It had more characteristics than you think a lizard would have. Like dogs are always like excitable and ready. Oh, I'm ready. What do you want to do? Hey, oh, hey, and they're like very vibey. And cats, you know, to a certain extent are, but they're also dicks. An iguana sits right in the middle, where it's like, it's always like super stone chill, like just like,
what's going on, dude?
Yeah, it's all, and they all, for the most part, are like that. Yeah, it's just like, yo, feed me some crickets, dude. You know what I could go for? Find some fucking lettuce. Just give me that lettuce right there. And like, they're real chill. It's because of their blood, really. Most fucking cold-blooded animals are really like that. Their body is kind of like dictated by the temperature of their blood. So like when you put them under a heat lamp, that's when like they're the most like they're just able to relax because they're like, yeah, get that blood pumping. But funny story about that iguana. It first of all, it lived a fucking goddamn long time,
Aren't they like
which has been
turtles?
known to happen. Um,
Or not as.
I think that an iguana will go into the 20s and 30s. A turtle can go 100. So it's like right into the like, and it's not every turtle that can get there. It's like some of those like loggerhead, a lot of sea turtles get into the hundreds and shit. But like a lot of land turtles, I don't think make it that long. But this iguana was around for a really long time, and one of the craziest goddamn things that ever happened with this fucking thing was it got out.
Of the house?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Straight up.
I mean, got out could mean two things. It could be out of the cage.
I mean, that was the other cool thing about this iguana is that, like, depending on what kind of like one you have in the relationship that you have, and sort of how long it's been around. I used to go to his house, and like I would go into the living room where his like giant terrarium was, and he wasn't in there, and I would be like, "What the fuck?" He'd be like, he's not in the thing he's supposed to be in. And then I would like go upstairs to take a piss in the upstairs bathroom, and then you get like a double take, like you're walking by the bedroom and you're like, "Oh shit." And he's just laying on the bed like a fucking mastiff, like just sitting there. Oh, hey.
I'm gonna hang out.
It's like, what? And then you would go back downstairs, and then you'd just be sitting on the couch watching TV, and then you would hear he'd be fucking making his way down the goddamn stairs. So he'd just come down the stairs, walk into the living room, and then his enclosure was like up on like kind of like a platform, like on stilts or whatever. Mm-hmm. So you would just be like, all right. So he would come into the living room, stand in front of his cage and be like, you gonna lift me into this thing or what? And then you just fucking pick him up and put him in the goddamn cage. That was it. Like that. When he came back down from upstairs and he wanted to go back under his heat lamp, put him right on his rock. That was his life.
Good life.
Yeah. But then one day he got a lust for adventure. So
everyone does.
Yeah, he gets some wanderlust. Now the problem is, my uncle lives in Albany, and it's in like a, pretty densely populated area. It was kind of like not even a suburb. I mean, he's like right in the fucking ass crack of Albany. And the one day that this iguana got out, he made it far. Like real fucking far. And they were looking for him for 2 months.
What?
2 months. And you would think eventually that, all right, we're over with this. It's done. But he got on the news. You can't make this up. So at the 2 month mark or right around in there, a guy calls the police and says, out back in my lawn, there's a fucking lizard in my tree. And they're like, okay, what? We'll call animal control and we'll come out there. And then animal control comes out and they're like, they were thinking like this had to have been something that like escaped from like a zoo or, I would think that if it was a big enough lizard to be spotted by some guy in his backyard, animal control we're in Albany. We're not in fucking Serengeti. So it's like, what the hell could this possibly be? So they go out there and they wrangle the iguana from the tree, and then they, I guess, reported it to the news because it was so unusual. They were like, basically, the animal control came on the scene, and then they told the news, like somebody found out about it, and then the news was like, okay, we'll go out there. And so they interviewed the guy on the news, and basically the headline was, big ass iguana found in tree in Albany. And my uncle saw the news report online and was like, oh my God, it's a miracle.
People know that there's pet iguanas, right? Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's very rare.
Is it?
I would say as far as pets go, the reason why probably it would have gotten on the news in the first place is because of the kind of notoriety that something like this gets, where it's like a really, really big lizard is in a tree in your backyard. Yeah. And while I understand that there are pet iguanas, most of the time, your pet iguana is probably this big. I mean, he's no bigger than a stick of butter. And I mean, that's what most of, them start out as.
Unnaturally gigantic.
I mean, it wasn't that he was unnaturally as gigantic. He was just old, and he got really big. Oh, I mean, this is just an old ass iguana, and they get big. He was at that mode of where he was just started to head into like monitor lizard type of territory. Like, he was pretty big and bright ass green. So he's noticeable.
That's funny.
Whereas it's not like somebody's going to be like, I found a gecko in my tree. What do the news crews ain't coming out for the gecko in your fucking tree. The news crews are coming out for this big fucking dinosaur that's up in this thing. That's like holy shit.
And also, what the hell is surprised your uncle didn't call animal control. And like, hey, if someone calls you and finds a giant fucking lizard.
I don't know if he did or not.
Mine broke my window and ran out.
My lizard used its giant muscular tail to smash a giant hole in my French doors and just nope the fuck out. The other thing was that the tree that he was in was right next to a major highway. That was the other notable thing of this, was like, oh my God, this could have went a completely different fucking way. Like, no question about it.
You think he took the highway?
Head out to the highway. He was just booking it.
Well, did you look on a map of where your uncle's house was and where the tree was and see what different paths he could have taken to end up at the tree?
That I don't know. And I actually don't even know. I don't remember how far he ended up away.
Okay.
I knew it was notable. Like, it was a very large distance, and that's the other thing that most people don't know about iguanas, and honestly turtles for that matter. A lot of people, like, the common thing is like, oh, turtles are slow. They're not slow when they have to be. Like, you spook the fuck out of a turtle, that bastard will go.
Also, he had 2 months to get down the street, so.
Yeah, I mean, and he did make it quite a ways, and when you have, the world outside making fucking noises and cacophonies, like, he's gonna have scenarios where he's gonna have to book it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you've seen as many episodes of Planet Earth as I have.
I haven't.
Holy fuck, those lizards can move fast, dude. Damn. There's an episode of this most recent Attenborough one that was on BBC. I think it was called Our Planet. There's a scene in that show that is so hard to fucking watch. It is the craziest shit I have ever seen on a nature documentary. There's only 2 things that always stick out in my mind from all the ones that I've ever watched. The first one was the giraffes fighting. Bar none, everybody should see what happens when a giraffe has to fight another giraffe, because there's probably nothing else that really looks like this In
I've never seen it.
dude. So everybody knows like what rhinos do, what deers do. It's kind of like a similar idea. They just like lock horns and just fucking like try to gouge each other with their horns. Okay, so those two animals,
Do they try to strangle each other with their long necks?
Dude, it kind of looks like it, but if you compare it to like, okay, if you look at the deer or a moose or whatever, they fucking go at each other like they got that running start shit going on where they're like, they kind of meet in the middle and they're like, ah. Giraffes fucking run up on each other and they swing that neck and they body each other with their heads. But like, okay, so you have two long ass necks.
Mm-hmm.
And they have like those kind of knobby horns on top of their head. The one comes down and fucking tries to like punch the side of the neck of the other one. And like, they get all of this like momentum and they just pow like right into the side of each other's necks. It's brutal and hilarious at the same time, but also brutal. Whole time I watch it, I'm so confused. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about what I'm seeing right now. And that's the first one, and then the second one related to the lizards thing is there was this scene that they did in this most recent Our Planet, dude. Oh my god. It was about this island where it's a bunch of iguanas, but they're like a different kind. They're kind of more like wild and they're a little smaller.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what kind they are. And there's these fucking snakes. These big, fucking gigantic snakes that are on, like, the scene is kind of set on this like big rocky beachfront. It's like these gigantic cliffs, and then it's like a whole beach.
Sure.
This whole 15-minute sequence of this thing is essentially watching snakes go as fast as you've ever seen them go, chasing these fucking lizards. And if this snake gets a hold of this lizard, dude, right on its neck, there are scenes in Baby Driver that are less nerve-wracking than watching this snake chase this lizard down a cliff across a beach, and like the speed is fucking unreal.
You ever see that?
And they know how to film that shit.
You ever see that picture of what is it? A python and another big snake. One of them is one of those snakes that strangle, and the other one's a venomous snake. Poisonous? Venomous?
Venomous, yeah.
Venomous snake, and he's getting strangled, and he bites the one that's strangling him, and they're both like interweaved in a death.
Yeah, I think it was like a python and an anaconda.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or something like that. Some shit. Holy Christ. Dude, there's nothing in the universe that is more centering or like interesting than, and I mean, this is such a generalized statement in general, but like, you know, when you get stoned and you watch something, like, there are things that are, for some reason or another, purpose built to be extremely interesting while you're in that particular state of mind. And like, a lot of the time it has to do with the people who made it were stoned out of their mind when they made it. A good example of this is something like Black Sabbath. Black Sabbath is real good. They're so good. Like, universally good. When you listen to them, though, totally 100% in a clear state of mind, you always get this sense of like, this has that somewhat of that vibe of, wow, these guys had to have been out of their fucking minds when they recorded it. It's different if you come up with it while you're stoned and you record it sober. That's probably like a mastodon. I would think, to me, a mastodon is probably like the thought process is probably being super stoned while you're thinking of a song like Oblivion, but to get into the studio and play that, stone ass cold sober. I mean, just based on the technical portion of it. But if you're looking at a Black Sabbath where it's like, dude, playing fucking Sweet Leaf, like listening to Sweet Leaf is like, they're literally playing it at the speed of Stoned, like. So what's odd is that something like a Planet Earth is such a earnest, like, such an earnest attempt at doing a documentary that's like meant to be like very visually spectacular and kind of show you the things that you've absolutely never seen before. But boy, is it unbelievable when you're high. I don't know why. It's just fucking crazy. I guess it's like, I guess it's the idea that like you never see anything like that in real life. Like, so like already modifying your reality and then seeing that in front of you and when watching that is like, it's a fucking double whammy. God damn. God damn. I've been saying that a lot from Rick and Morty.
Oh, yeah.
What was that episode with the Avengers? There was an episode of Rick and Morty that was like an Avengers parody. And there was like a little fucking alien character who was like the janitor. Somebody burned somebody real bad and he was like mopping up the floor and then he heard it and he was like, God damn. I just like that line a lot. The delivery of it. Anyway. Getting high and watching Planet Earth, Dylan. I miss it.
You can still do it. It's right there, Brent.
Well, it isn't right there because there's something that's not right there, and that would be my supplies. Fresh out of supplies.
Fresh out, dude.
Life is so fucking mundane, and sometimes the solution is to alter your state of consciousness. It's a fact. We know it. We've known it since the beginning of time. That this is good, but it'd be even better. And that's the answer almost every time. I mean, at least now, at least as far as I'm aware of, to get your 11 herbs and spices, you actually can go to many of the fine facilities in Massachusetts, and I guess they are doing your drive-through experience.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, it kind of was like that to begin with anyway. You just fucking get on the website, order it ahead of time, you go there, you stand in line, you get your shit, and you get out. I mean, it couldn't be more utopian, and it's really one of the best experiences one could have, where the freedom of it, there's really nothing like it.
I mean, Little Caesar's Pizza.
Hot and ready?
Hot and ready, that might be the other one.
Like,
I mean, what's finer of a pair?
When Little Caesars came out with Hot and Ready, it's like the same idea. You're sitting there and you're like, it's kind of like the shift from the rotary phone to the cordless phone. Fewer times in our life, Dylan, have we experienced an innovation in laziness like the cordless phone, Little Caesars Hot and Ready, and drive-through weed pickup.
I mean, Little Caesars even stepped their game up a little bit. I don't know if you ever saw it, but they have this thing where, you know how they have their fancier pizzas that you gotta wait for?
Yes.
Which is like really kind of the stuff that you want from there, because if you're getting Little Caesars, you might as well step it up and get the deep dish, because it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, and they make it.
Yeah.
It's like being made.
Yeah, but so you can order like stuff like that online, and then you could walk in, and there was a thing that looked like a refrigerator, but it had doors, and you put your order number in, and you just opened it up, you grabbed your pizza,
good lord.
you just left.
Jesus.
Yeah, when they finish your order, they just put it in this little, like, fucking refrigerator thing. You walk in and just get it.
Ev- Eventually, what it's going to be is like the world that we're going to face after this, despite it having, you know, so many negatives that we could really think of. I think the ultimate positive that's going to come out of it is the massive amount of increase in touchless shit. Like, you look at Panera already. It's a system by which, either by ordering online or even if you felt as emboldened to walk into a store, to walk into the storefront, you literally walk to a kiosk, you press all the buttons, you press your fucking pictures of your tomatoes, you press your fucking pictures of your bread and your goddamn baguette and your iced tea, and that shit gets put out onto a counter in a paper bag with your name on the receipt, and you walk your ass out of there, also having already paid for it because the point of sale is directly on the kiosk you just used. So imagine the world in which we actually put our minds to understanding what it is that we can do besides fast food and fucking, you know, self-checkout and shit. And we head into every other aspect of life. So, like, you know, you think about the most far-fetched thing that you could possibly imagine. Like, what do I usually have to do in a day? Do I, like, oh shit, I gotta go to Best Buy, I gotta get a fucking cable. I mean, you could still go into the Best Buy and get yourself your stupid fucking RCA cable for your dumb speakers, or you could get that airport experience and you walk to the front of the Best Buy or drive through the side of the Best Buy, and that shit is literally a goddamn robot vending machine filled with AirPods and everything else, like in the airport. Everything is gonna fucking be like that. I mean, a business isn't gonna be interested in losing foot traffic in their stores if the alternative is, well, fuck, I just put in two fucking stupid vending machines in the front with a little robot arm that'll get you your fucking Beats headphones in no time flat. Swipe your card, fucking flash your retina, give them a stool sample, whatever the fuck you gotta do, and you walk out of
here. Shit for days. Do you want it here?
Dude, here. I don't care. Look, I don't care how you verify my identity. I don't want to talk to the greeter in the front of the fucking store. I don't want to get hassled by some fucking neckbeard trying to sell me the latest fucking Galaxy phone.
I'm not looking
I don't
for
give
anything.
a shit.
I don't need help.
No. Never. Never in my fucking existence. Dylan knows what he wants. He wants the fucking Steelbook Collector's Edition. He knows where it is. He's gonna walk in there. He's gonna see the shiny holographic front. He's gonna get his collector's big titty figure that comes with it, and he's gonna walk out the door.
One foot in front of the other.
Dude.
Me and Santa Claus.
Online pickup is gonna be even great. Like, I remember, like, dude, the days of fucking remember when your parents used to go put things on layaway, Dylan?
Yeah.
Remember that Kmart ass tickle me fucking Elmo life we used to live, where we just got our fucking VTech cordless phones, and that Christmas we were like, Mom, I really want Tickle Me Elmo. And your mom was like, Jesus Christ.
Grow up, you're 18.
You're 18 years old, and we just got a cordless phone. What more do you want? I want a Tickle Me Elmo, Mom. All my friends have one. And
Elmo's hilarious.
He's fucking hilarious, Mom. Have you seen Sesame Street? Jesus. I feel like at that time it was so weird because, you know, thinking about it now, you had this, like, dude, the movie that would be so weird to watch right now is fucking Jingle All the Way. Like, think about the plot line of Jingle All the Way. You have Arnold Schwarzenegger,
That still
and you have
happens. Have you not gone out to the mall during Christmas time?
I feel like that has to have been diminished, though. The concepts of these things that...
I don't know, man. You go to Destiny around Christmas time and you can't find a parking spot.
Well, I still think that there are...
The concept of the have-to-have item. The gotta-have-it item. Well, that's just the concept that's a few and far between to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird.
Tickle Me Elmo, Furby.
Yeah.
Game consoles.
Yeah.
That's about it. You want a TV, there's 10,000 different TVs you can get. You want...
I mean, and I would think that it probably more translates to,
Also, you don't have kids, so a lot of it translates to toys. I know, was it last year, maybe 2 years ago, it was like Hatchimals.
Yeah, and then there was like dude, the fucking bracelets. The goddamn shaped rubber band bracelets. You remember them shits?
Jelly bands?
Yeah, was that what they were called?
Something like that.
And I mean, fidget spinners kind of happen, and it happens. You know, there's always been the viral toy, but I feel like it's so antiquated that movie, like it's like I was telling Becky the other day.
Oh yeah, parents don't fight over toys; they fight over $2 waffle irons on Black Friday,
or the new Apple Watch. Either way, they'll wait in line for fucking 6 hours.
When you
12 hours.
Pre-order it online and have it to your house the same day.
That's the other difference now is that the line between like forced what do you call it, like forced demand, where it's like you better buy it because it's gonna sell out. Yeah, fuck you. I've played this game 100 times. It's not gonna sell out. That's bullshit. You've choked fucking production, or if you haven't choked production, you've choked the fucking supply chain. That's all you did. You got 14 million fucking Switches sitting in the goddamn warehouse somewhere. All you're doing is just pissing 9 or 10 of them to every store in America so they can be like, you gotta wait in line for your Switch. I mean, that's been happening since the beginning of time.
I pre-ordered my Switch. I got it the fucking day it came out. I just came to my house.
So I mean, that's
the thing.
That's what I'm saying. It's going away. It's that particular part of it is disappearing. But still, sometimes people get duped, and I don't know why. It might be like because of it's like part of the experience. Like, oh, I'm gonna go to Walmart at midnight to go to get the new Call of Duty. It's like, why?
Well, that's gone.
That's all gone.
Yeah, I mean, you just get it digital, and then you have it at midnight, or if you live on the West Coast, you have it at 9 p.m.
Yeah, I think it's just weird. It's weird to think back on that time, and then now, you know, everything has this like expiration date. Everything has this like air of cynicism to it. Everybody is like, you know, fuck you. I know you got more in your factory, and fuck you. This is made out of shitty materials, and fuck, like everything that ever comes out has this like certain air of that to it. Whereas I remember back when fucking Furby days, where it was like, yay, Furby. That was about it. Like, my mom paid one of her friends to go wait in line to get me a Furby for Christmas. To this day, still ashamed that a poor woman, Dylan, that my mother handed this woman $40 to go down to a Walmart and stand in goddamn line to buy a Furby. And there was other people that did that, but Christ, there's people that do it now. There's a guy I saw on fucking YouTube that does it for Supreme. Literally his entire business.
Oh, there you go. That's the other thing, was the fake.
Yeah. That's probably one of the most egregious forms of it, really. Because Supreme knows and acknowledges what they're doing. And I mean, even to a certain extent, where, you know, the Yeezy world, that's that world. The whole world is that of.
Yeah, But to be fair,
releases is like
they
that.
have to do that. Otherwise, the brand doesn't mean anything. So it's like chicken or the egg. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you can't be this big popular brand if you produce at the Walmart level of clothes. You know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
so you have to create false
Demand, kind of.
false like shortages, so
Yes,
that
right.
people feel they get that feeling of FOMO that they have to have it, and
Yes.
all you're selling is a white T-shirt with some block letters on it.
And what's funny about that, even more specifically behind the ideology of their brand, is that the original artist who created that aesthetic, her name is Barbara Krieger, and you can look her up. She's a pop artist, very inspired by the Warhols of her era, and her whole thing was the initial graphic was "I shop, therefore I am." That was the original. It was the same font over the red block, and she would put that over the top of, like, black and white pictures of like stores, or she would put it over like news clippings for like sales and shit. That was the top part of it.
I've seen it.
So
the irony.
And the thing is that you're stacking up so many things with that, right? It's almost like Dadaism, or like anti-art in a way, where people see these modern art exhibits, especially like there's a couple modern art exhibits in California that are so up their own ass. But the thing is that knowing that you're up your ass in and of itself can become an art form. All art really is just an acknowledgement of something. I either acknowledge that this is what it is, or I don't. And so the concept of somebody,
a lot of times the acknowledgement is what makes it, like, makes you rich.
It's what validates it. And the thing is and that's the other term too, is like art is all about validation. So there's either representational art or there's non-representational art. Representational art is the classics, the Renaissance, all of these things that are painting things as they appear, or at least insofar as they appear to be real things in life. Like Impressionism is taking an impression of something. It doesn't look exactly like it, but it looks somewhat like it. Direct representational is like the classics, the people who paint fucking bowls of fruit in the Renaissance that are directly related. But then you have non-representational, which is the stuff that's abstract. It looks nothing like it. It's conceptual. And so the idea with Supreme and Barbara Krieger and all of that stuff is like, Supreme is, again, so up its own ass, but people know that. They're fully on board with what is happening. And when you're fully on board, what does it really matter?
I feel like the people that are behind it know that, not the people that buy it.
I would say it's probably a 50-50 split. I would say probably the better angels of our nature would be to assume that 50% of the people who buy Supreme kind of know what the deal is with that a little bit. And then I would say the other 50% of people are probably like, fucking Supreme. That's about it. But I actually really respect that concept. From a business perspective, I mean, whatever. There's a lot worse things going on in fucking American business than, forced scarcity. Like, the idea ultimately is
especially
that
when it's a T-shirt, because you could go out and buy a T-shirt, and you're not holding anything back from the fucking people for making the scarcity on a T-shirt. That the only thing that separates it is the logo on it.
It's more that people are given a choice.
Yeah.
And the choice is really, for me, we've mentioned three things: choice, acknowledgement, And choice, acknowledgement, I can't remember the fucking first thing I said, but all of these ideas in like art and design and all of this shit are basically concepts that you could swing either way on. You could say, shit, I could do that. That's the thing that I always love is when when somebody walks into like a modern art museum. A good example of it is like Mass MoCA up in Massachusetts. That's like one of the most modern progressive museums around, like other than MoMA. Like that's basically, if you want to see modern art, there's probably like 2 or 3 real good places to see it, and you know they're where they really focus on it. And one of the things that's at Mass MoCA is James Turrell, and James Turrell is the progenitor of the light art that was later used in the Hotline Bling video and was later depicted in a majority of Kanye West's aesthetic past the life of Pablo. James Turrell is probably Kanye West's favorite artist right now after Haruki Murakami. That was the graduation era.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Donald Trump.
Yo, when you talk about the 3 greatest artists out there, who do you think of? Murakami, Turrell, Trump. Greatest artist of our time. I went and saw the Turrell exhibit that is referenced. You have to sign up for a time to see it. Mm-hmm. There's 3 of them. They are, without a doubt, probably one of the most fascinating pieces of art that I've ever seen. And James Turrell is definitely an example of the exact opposite of I could do that. Never in 100 million years, given all of the fucking tools that I could ever hope to have at my disposal, would I be able to come up with what this man has done with his work and like have it be as interactive and experiential as it is. It's so visually stimulating that like you feel like your eyeballs are about to explode. One of them is the most like the craziest shit reality bending thing I've ever seen, and it was the one that's in the Hotline Bling video, but it's like a version of it. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the actual one I saw, but the one I saw is actually it's an example of light art and also forced perspective. So basically you step into this room and it's specifically designed by him. He gives all of the dimensions of what it's supposed to be like, down to the color of the walls and the shape of the floor. And the shape of the floor, that seems like a weird thing to say, but literally the floor is tilted slightly down. So when you walk in there, it's like sloped. So the front of the floor goes down a little bit, not much, but it's a little. And then the floor is sculpted off of a ledge. So essentially, if you want to think about it, it's basically a stadium or like lawn seating style incline. Mm-hmm. And at the end of it, there is no corner that goes up the wall. So it goes down. You can't see the edge of it. It's like an infinity pool. You can't see where the edge of the room is. And then 5 feet away, across from that, which you also can't tell the distance of anything, you have no idea how far something is away from you, goes a wall straight up. And then the lights are programmed to basically give you the perception that either something is really far away and you don't realize it, or something is super up close. And the lights are so bright that you have kind of like a real, like, I don't know what's going on. And then they bring you through a 10-minute sequence where it flashes from different colors that will create scintillation. So like if you ever look at a set of colors, one of the colors that gives you like the worst like fucking your eyeballs is bright cyan and bright orange. When you put them together in your eye, it's so like if I put like on a screen especially, I put a big ass bright block of fucking blue and a big ass bright block of orange and you smash them together, that line down the center literally makes your eyes hurt. And like it gives you like that weird, like wiggly optical illusion type of line. That's how this whole thing is designed. When he flashes these lights, it's meant to give you like this weird, like extrasensory experience, and you're encouraged to kind of walk around, get real close to a wall, walk around, get real close to a light source, and kind of like look backwards. I just could never think. It's almost like art that goes into like the psychological. It's really, really, really cool. When all of this shit is fucking over with, let's go see it. Because
that's planned.
It's profound. Let's do it. We'll go up to Mass Mocha and we'll see this stuff. I think, to be honest with you, even if you don't like art or like don't like the atmosphere of a museum, because there's been a lot of museums that I've been to that I don't really like the atmosphere of. I think that's just as important as going to see the art, is like, how do I feel when I'm here? Like, that's just as much a part of it as anything else. And Mass Mocha is without a doubt my favorite museum ever. I mean, I've been to the Guggenheim, I've been to MoMA. Like, I've been to the kind of the big East Coast museums. Fuck. If it's not the coolest, most accessible museum out there, and it's not even a museum, it's a compound. When you go out there, it's tens of factory buildings that have just been gutted and have huge sprawling art outside, inside, both inside and outside, and fucking interactive shit and not interactive shit. It just has everything. And again, it's completely unpretentious. It doesn't have any pretension to it. It's like going to fucking Fort Ricky goddamn Children's Discovery Zoo. Like,
that definitely has no pretension to it.
That's what I'm saying, is that sometimes you go
pet a baby goat.
That's it. It's going to Mass Mocha is like the equivalent of how do you want to see your art today? You want to go to some stuffy fucking white wall joint, or do you want to go to Fort Ricky Children's Discovery Zoo and pet a goat? Well, if you want to go to pet a goat, there ain't a better place to do it than Mass Mocha. And they have concerts there, dude. Beck's fucking played there. Sylvanesso, like that. I mean, they have and they have a brewery there too. So really, what you could do, without question, this is a day that you could have, is you could go up to Massachusetts. It's in North Adams, Mass. You can go to a dispensary. You can load your shit up with every edible and fucking weed-based product on the face of the planet. You go and have a million beers and a beautiful slice of pizza at the fucking cafe, smoke up hard, go see James Turrell, and have your fucking mind blown in one afternoon. Nothing is more appealing than that to me. It's literally the most appealing thing I could think of. Just saying.
That's it.
Yeah, it's and I miss it. I miss it, man. I want to go see arts. I don't want to go see fucking online exhibits, Dylan. I want to go see real art in a real place. God damn it. God damn. Anyway,
I gotta get going actually. So.
All right, baby.
I gotta wrap this up.
Let's wrap it up. Wrap it up. Audio versions of this podcast are available below in the description if you feel like you want to reminisce with me about art and culture. And if you don't, I don't want you to listen then. I don't want you around. I don't want you around. Get out. This has been Jack It Off Podcast, episode 61. Bye.